Hello and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club, the place investors go to gain actionable advice, learn about current market trends, and hear war stories from other professional investors out there in the field today. Before we get started, I have two quick housekeeping items to cover. First, if you like the episode, we would very much appreciate a like, subscribe, and share. It is the best way to support the show and keep it running. Second, if you are a new investor looking to get started in real estate or an experienced investor looking to take your investing to the next level, we created an ebook for you that will cover how to find deals that are actually deals, how to finance those deals with little to no money down, and how to exit those deals for maximum value. On top of that, I throw in an insane amount of free bonuses that you'll have access to once you buy the ebook. All we charge is our admin cost to keep the show running. So, if you're serious about real estate investing and want to create both active and passive income as an investor, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com and click on the button that says Get the ebook to grab yourself a copy today. So with that said, let's dive right in. Today we have a very special guest with us, ready to drop some investor knowledge on you. So buckle up, grab your pen and paper, and enjoy the ride. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. Today we have with us Alla Romanova. Alla is an architect by trade and has gained valuable experience in the New York real estate arena after graduating Columbia University with an MS in construction administration. Since then, she's been managing residential and commercial projects on behalf of developers and property owners before taking the lead in her own 3D visualization venture, AO Design Labs, which is a visualization studio that designs and creates virtual content for real estate professionals. I've seen this kind of stuff before, and I'm really excited to get into it. So, Alla, thank you very much for hopping on the show today. How are you?
Hi, Gabriel. I'm doing fine today, and I'm glad to see you. And thank you for welcoming me today to your podcast. Let's chat. Let's chat about real estate.
Let's do it. And I told all of this before the show, but I have to apologize for everybody listening and watching. If you guys hear a hammer or a drill, it's because I am working from home and there is electrical work being done. And so there's people around, they're doing their work. I'm going to try to cut it out before I actually release this. But if you hear it, don't worry about it. We're just going to talk right through it.
We're in construction and real estate, right?
Yeah, come on. This is a real estate show. You should expect that stuff.
Yeah, so it's perfect.
Yep. So Alla, we always start with stories. We like to hear how people got started in real estate. So why don't you take us way back to the beginning? How did you get started?
So basically, as you said, I'm an architect by trade, and I immigrated from Russia, from St. Petersburg, where I got my first master's degree. So I was driven by the opportunity to go to the United States, to move and to get my second master's, right, from renowned universities, such as Columbia University. And back then, everything used to be like about design, and architectural field, that I got to know that there is a construction part, right, like that with many stakeholders involved. And also there is the third part, which is a financial part. So basically, I keep going, I keep learning. And basically, while I was working for one of the developers, there was one building. So basically, they acquired a parcel of land and they were looking for investors. And it was in a close proximity right in the center of New York on Madison Avenue to a historical library. So basically, in order to look for developers and advertise the product, we had to create like a rendering, like a game plan of how the future building is going to look like based on the massing design that we did in-house before we actually hired the real architect firm, that developed like a real project. So basically, it was a good way to present this to potential investors, to create partnerships. And basically, this was the time when I realized the value of 3D virtual content and how it helps real estate in different directions.
Cool. I love it. So you got started in Russia, in St. Petersburg. I've actually always wanted to go over there. It looks like such a pretty city.
You're more than welcome, especially in June when we have white nights. This is the best time to go and visit.
Perfect.
A lot of real estate projects are breaking ground as well.
Nice. There's a lot of development going on in St. Petersburg.
Yes, but actually over there, because it's a very like cultural city, so we act for preservation, right? Like, so we have to keep and maintain like the overall look, architectural unity, etc. So in every real estate area, there are certain rules of the game.
Nice. And you're talking about even aesthetic rules, like they have to conform to a certain type of look.
For sure, you have to comply with different rules. One of the rules are like the height rules, right? So basically, the city was designed initially like a very, very horizontal thing, like with vertical dominance. So basically, we try to keep it. So basically, there are very exact compliance in terms of the height of the buildings, how they look. We don't go usually for solid glass facades buildings. So a very, very interesting area.
That's cool. Yeah, I've always been interested in city planning, because you go to some cities and they just look like a hodgepodge of just crap. No offense to those cities, I'm not going to name names, but then there's other cities and they obviously there was a planner behind it and it just looks beautiful. It sounds like St. Petersburg is one of them. So you said June. I'm definitely going to have to hop over during June and check out.
Now, as the borders are starting to open up, I think you can book your ticket for a really good price and hop on the plane in a couple of months.
Cross your fingers. Awesome. Well, so you started in St. Petersburg, then you came over here and you got your degree in Columbia University, so in New York City, and you were working for a developer, which kind of got you into the 3D design space.
Sure.
I haven't done ground up development. I've done flips and I understand the use cases for a software like this. One of my friends is actually really good at it. And the things that he creates is just like, it's just, I don't know, jaw dropping, because he can take a flip that he does, he can create a 3D model. And then when, somebody wants to buy his property, he can actually use that as a marketing tool. And obviously it sells faster because this person can walk through the property themselves. I mean, come on, that's easy from their couch. It's an easy sell right there.
I'm really glad that we are on the same terms. So you understand as well, a little bit like of what we do. So basically, yes, you're absolutely right. We create a virtual content. It can be an existing building or also the building or the real estate space that doesn't exist. So for some spaces that do exist, right, you can do like virtual staging in terms of the rendering, right, a still picture that will show your future space. There are also some applications like 360 rendering, right, when you can just sit on the one point and just turn your head around and walk through the space. I actually just recently opened up for myself, discovered actually Matterport Pro 2 camera. So basically it's a certain manufacturer that creates a 360 cameras and they scan the space. And the same day you can get like a 3D model and send it to your potential, to potential buyers, right? Like to people, for example, you sell a home, you just flipped a home, right? Like you did a very nice setting, created like a 360 scanning model, and you can just send this to like multiple potential clients without like actually scheduling home visits and open houses. And it's very time efficient, right? You can measure, you can walk through, etc. So it's very, it comes in to be very, very handy.
Gotcha. And so, I'm just, while you're talking, I'm kind of thinking, people listening, watching, you have some flippers that listen, some ground up developers, how are they going to be able to use something like this in their business? It sounds like it'd be super useful for marketing, for sales. And so basically you're just saying you'd buy a 360-degree camera, put it in your rooms, and then the software would do it, do everything.
Yeah, but in this case, you have to make sure that the building and the space is fully set up. So because the way the 360 camera depicts the space, this is how it's going to appear on your video, right? On your 3D virtual walkthrough. If we're talking about such a thing like 3D virtual tour that is created from scratch for non-existent real estate space, In this case, you are able to get creative, to make different to make different changes to your design and to the space, right? Because it doesn't exist yet. But in terms of the developers, we also had such a project, like it was in New Rochelle, New York, and it was a rental building. It was still under construction. And basically, they knew that as per the schedule, they would just finish by the end of the year. And they wanted to get leases in place and started to market the property while they were just continuing on doing interior renovations. And basically, we did several renderings. They were not even like 3D virtual walkthroughs. And like all the amenity spaces, the building facade, how the living room is going to look like, how the bedroom is going to look like. So basically, they advertised this and they got several clients even before they signed the TCO.
Wow, that's awesome. And so this, it sounds like you stage your property and then you do, you set it up and you do the 3D pictures and
especially, like it's a very strange feeling and very unprecedented situation, because I think COVID and pandemic situation for my business, especially, it was a good situation to happen because basically
people aren't going out and doing walkthroughs.
So basically now, because we provide such services, you can go to places where you don't have access to. Mm-hmm. And you basically access spaces just sitting on your couch from your home.
Yeah.
And I think it's very time efficient. You don't risk your health and it's safe. And basically you can, if, for example, right, like if you go to the space for the first time, maybe you don't recognize and you don't realize and you don't pick on some details. But if you have virtual content, you can go back to it like over and over again.
Gotcha. That makes sense. And I was even thinking like, so when I first got started in real estate, I was doing flips. And, when I did that, I would have to walk through all these houses and, take pictures and then go back and look at all the pictures. I'd miss things. How easy is it to do this? Because, what was going through my mind is a flipper uses this, takes this little 360 camera, just each room, snap, takes a picture, snap, takes a picture, snaps, takes a picture. And then he can, take that back and use it, in creating a scope of work for his flip. Is it
sure,
easy, or do you got to have like a super nice, $10 million camera to get it done?
No, it's not $10 million camera, right? And it's very easy to deploy. And I think this is a great advantage of this. But this is, again, in terms of the places that are ready to go. Or for construction managers, I think this is a very good thing to use for liability purposes. For example, right, construction manager at risk always risks his reputation and his budget, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this 360 camera, even if you film the process of construction, you can also use this to defend yourself later on if any legal case comes up. So that basically, it's a perfect way to document what was going on. And also, for example, if you do flips, right, like you come into the space that really needs gut renovation and full demo. So basically, I just did it yesterday. I just filmed the apartment that is a subject for a flip. And basically from this Matterport 3D virtual walkthrough that I created, I can do takeoffs. And basically being a construction manager, I can create the takeoff and the budget and present it to potential client. So we can do value engineering and define the overall budget for the project.
Cool, man. I'm loving it. You already sold me. So I'm curious, do you have any like statistics when it comes to conversion rates? People who list their properties without a 3D rendering and then people who list it with a 3D rendering. Do you have like hard evidence for this?
The 3D virtual field is expected to grow like 8 times by the year 2030.
No, I believe that.
And
for sure.
Significantly, if you use 3D virtual materials, you decrease the time of on the market, like by 50%. You can create a very effective strategic marketing sales structure and approach different clients and new prospects. And I think this is a kind of a trend that used to exist even before COVID, but this pandemic situation actually triggered, I personally think, really triggered creative thinking, and some of the trends they accelerated. And
Cool.
I think that later on it will become an essential tool that will be used really like everywhere in real estate.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can think of a bunch of use cases myself. You know, me and my partners, we do mobile home RV parks. There's not a lot of 3D-ness going there, but it would even so, it'd still be nice to be able to take a 3D picture in the middle of the park, and so you can just kind of pop in, have a look around, and see what a park feels like. You know, even though it's mostly a flat structure.
Basically, it demolishes all kind of borders, right? So again, you can go to and access the places from anywhere in the world. Yeah. And talking about like some people or investors who flip the properties and decide to hold on to this, so they become actually owners and operators. I think it's a great tool, like first of all, to advertise. And for example, during COVID, I actually experienced such a situation when people decided to basically keep the budget and don't spend money on capital improvement, but still continue to advertise. For example, if we're talking about commercial real estate owners. So basically, we created a virtual walkthrough of the white box space, a virtual walkthrough of the design space, a promotional video. This is everything that you can do. Like, I'm just naming different applications, and there are people who do it right out there. And you actually have all the tools in your arsenal to go out there and advertise and get clients, get known, and present the best work you invest so many efforts and so much time into.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I even see a use case here for leasing, because I mean, multifamily, you take a picture of the unit, depending upon how labor intensive this is. I've never done this myself, so I don't know how much of a setup there is. But if it's relatively easy, it would be easy to use that to lease up a new property. You could add it in the processes for your property manager to just go in there, snap a 360 of it, and then put that in the listing when you put it up online.
And also for real estate owners, I would recommend to use like 360 scanning, because, for example, if you build an HVAC system, right, like a building system, we're talking about MEPS, right? So basically, there is such a difficult, convoluted system that is inputted into the building. So basically, you have to create tags and save them, because later on there will be a new building manager who will come in and operate. Yes, there is like a very thick book, like a Bible of manual of how to use it. But basically, if you have this kind of 3D model, you can use this as built drawings instead of as-built drawings, or in addition to that, as a visual. Nice. Right? Yeah. So, and I think talking about like listings and real estate, so I actually experienced and I noticed this thing. So in one building, there were like several residential units in the same line. And I think these 3D services actually help people to create really good content for their listings. And better the content, there will be more viewers and there will be more open houses. Yep. So you can get your property sold really faster.
Yep. Yeah, I always say it, real estate is first and foremost a marketing game. I love real estate and there's a lot of physicality to it, but it always starts with marketing. So it sounds like this would be a great tool for anybody who wants to market pretty much any aspect. I mean, you want to raise capital, this would be a good way to sell your idea, sell your project. If you want to get a new lease or lease up a property, this would be a good way to do that. Plan out your rehab. That would also help you out with that. So see a lot of use cases here, and I love it. I don't want to go too far into this, but I'm curious, what is your guys' next step? Like, what do you see on the horizon for 3D rendering industry itself?
So basically, I think the special thing about the team, and I think we will continue to evolve in this direction, is not only being like 3D artists, but also designers and architects who we have on board. And I'm an architect by the background. So basically, I think we save time for potential clients. And I think I would like, in terms of clients, I would go to people who have different fields of expertise. For example, right, like if you're a developer and you have a parcel of land, you don't have to go separately to the designer to create or imagine the facade of the future building, and then go to a 3D artist who will render this for you. So basically, you go for some contractors who can deliver turnkey projects, virtual projects for you. And also we're looking into we're based in New York, right? And we are expanding to the south, to the Florida market. And as far as you know, it's very hot right now. And I'm in Florida myself these days. And I see all these cranes all around the city, and
Florida's
it's really
blowing up.
Yeah, it's blooming, the city is blooming and a lot of businesses are coming in. And I truly believe in New York, right? The city has been through several cycles, the same as real estate. I think this field is not for people with a very short attention span because there are many cycles and you don't get results right away. You have to be very patient and work really hard, and hopefully New York will come back as well.
Yep. No, I've been to New York one time, but when I went there, it just blew my mind. It was just so grand, so large. So I know they're going through a hard time right now, but I have no doubt New York will come back for sure. Well, hey, we just blew through our 15-minute mark, which means I got to push us into the quick question round. Are you ready to go?
Wow. Okay. I will say yes. I don't have too much time.
It's funny because normally I tell all the guests about the quick question round, but I completely spaced when we were talking before this. So you don't know anything about this, which is great because it's going to be completely unscripted. Basically what this is, just a quick question round. I'm going to ask you quick questions. You won't have a problem answering them, and then you give me quick responses, and we'll do it like that. Sound good?
Okay, let's go.
All right. It always starts with books. I'm a big bookie. So give me 2 book recommendations, one for general life wisdom, and then one for real estate in general.
So for wisdom, I'm coming back from Russia. So read Russian literature like Dostoevsky, or maybe if you know Russian, just we have a really beautiful poetry. And some of the books, they were written back in 19th century, and they're about real life, and they're still valid to read. And very interesting to read, for sure.
Nice.
You will not waste your time. And about real estate, I'm reading The Real Estate Game, actually, even now. This is the book that I'm reading. I don't know if you can't see because of my background. It's William Porvo, The Real Estate Game. So basically, it's a very easy to understand book, about the real estate, the basic rules, and about the field itself. It's basically was written by the professor from Harvard.
Perfect. Nice. The Real Estate Game, and then any Russian literature. I actually just read, not just, it was a while ago, but Brothers Karamazov from, I think that's Dostoevsky. Really good book. So good recommendations. Good. Moving on. So the next question, this one is for your younger self. So if you could go back to the Alla who did not know anything about real estate, go back to her, look her in the eye, and give her one piece of advice moving forward.
I would just say, don't think that it's only about architecture. There are different fields of real estate. There are many stakeholders involved. And I think real estate is for people who don't mind to get their hands dirty. You have to be good with the plumber on site, and then you can be presenting a brilliant idea to potential investors. So you have to be good at many, many things. So just live and learn.
I love it.
Constantly.
And that can be applied to anything. I mean, whatever your main focus is going into real estate, don't make it about that one niche. There's so many different facets. So you really do got to expand yourself and learn the different areas and aspects of real estate. All right, moving on. And this one is an opportunity for you to flex your muscles and brag a little bit. Everybody has everybody has strengths. Everybody has things they're good at specifically. So what is it that is your Superman, Superwoman strength? What are you really good at?
Before we continue on with today's guest, I want to tell you guys about a community I'm launching on School to help investors like yourself grow your own portfolio. In this community, you'll get access to all the docs I use, all the systems I've built, everything I've used to grow my own portfolio, as well as instructions and guidance on how to get out there and find great deals, how to finance those deals, and then how to manage them for great returns. Since we're just launching it, the price will be set at a measly $20 per month, and whatever price you join at is the price you'll have for life. We will be increasing the price as the group grows, so if you're at all interested in growing your portfolio along other investors, now is the time to join. I will put the link somewhere in the bio or on our podcast website at therealestateinvestingclub.com, so if you are interested, head on over there. With that said, let's get back to the podcast.
I think that I'm pretty good with people, and I deal with people every day. And as I have just said, that you have to be good with different types of people, right? Like with different talents. And you have to understand that every person has his or her own goals and vision. And in order to find this key to these different doors, you have to respect like the room the person is coming from. And I think this is the key to success for sure.
No, I love that. You absolutely do need to understand everybody has their own perspective and they have their own goals and desires. So really take that into consideration whenever you're talking to people.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that the person is wrong. It's just different kind of opinion because the person is coming from a different experience. And real estate, I think it's not only about being like book smart, it's also about being street smart because there are so many books, but you really learn by practicing. And I think this is all about real estate, and you have to be really strong because real estate has different cycles and you have to be able to adapt, like COVID thing, right? Nobody actually expected we were on the top of our like economic game, right? Back in December, but then March came, and basically we were all locked in our houses.
Yep, it's crazy how things change pretty quickly. That's for sure. All right, and so this is the second to last question. The United States, the world is a huge place. There's many, thousands, millions of square miles out there. Where is an area? I usually say the United States, but for you, I'm going to say the world since you're from Russia. So what area in the world are you excited about investing in, about working in real estate in?
For me, it's United States because yes, my roots are coming from Russia, but now I'm focused on the United States because my life as an adult actually happened here, right? Like my first serious job, me taking a risk of starting my own business. So I think this is the direction where I would like to continue to go into. And, it's very interesting because when I used to do construction management, right, like you have a project and you basically married to this project for a couple of years and see this beautiful building like rising and growing up. And because we're doing 3D content right now, we constantly face different kinds of projects, like from private residences, from like dog Disneylands, right? Like somewhere in Hawaii. Actually, we were about to do a design massing for this kind of project. And, I constantly learn. And I'm happy that this kind of flexibility, running of your own venture, actually triggered creativity. Like my creativity. It's not just like a rat race when you are working certain hours, delivering a certain project. It triggers you and makes you think creatively in different directions, like meeting new people. And I'm really, really excited about what's happening now and about what's going to happen in the future.
Awesome. I love to hear that. And I would echo that same sentiment. If anybody ever wants to grow, start your own business, It's the easiest way to grow. It's in fact, it's impossible not to grow if you start your own business, because you're going to be running into things that you did not expect, for sure.
I agree. Like for people who run their own business, I always say these people are comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, it's sort of a masochism in some way, but like the outcome can be and reward can be unlimited. This is for sure.
Absolutely. All right, this is the last question, and this one's for the viewers. You've given us a lot of good information about 3D visualizations and using it in the real estate space. So I'm sure people out there want to reach out, get in contact with you. What is the best way for them to do that?
Just shoot me an email. It's easy. It's ALLA@aodesignlab.com. And also you can visit our website and see what we do. It's basically aodesignlab.com. So if you have a chance and spare a minute, just go to our website and reach out to me.
All right, sounds good. And I will put that link in the show notes. So if you guys see a little more in the description, click that bad boy. It'll pop down the full description, and in there you'll be able to find Alla's link. So Alla, again, thank you very much for hopping on the show. I had a pleasure doing this.
Thank you very much, Gabriel. It was my absolute pleasure. To many more meetings in the future.
There you go. And for everybody who's here with us today, thank you guys for showing up. You are the reason that we do this, so we appreciate having you here. As always, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, reach out to me personally at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Other than that, hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and were able to pull some actionable advice that you can go home with and apply to your own investing business. Before you go, I have a gift for you. If you're a new investor looking to get started or an established investor looking to take your business to the next level, I've created an ebook just for you available on the website. This ebook will cover how I was able to create both active and passive income in real estate with very little money to start with. In it, I will address the 3 most often cited obstacles new and veteran investors run into by showing you how to find a deal that's actually a deal, how to finance that deal with little to no money down, and how to exit a deal for maximum value. And if you get the ebook today, I'm going to bury you in bonuses, 7 of them to be exact. First, you'll get the off-market lead generation blueprint, which will take you through the exact systems and processes we use to generate off-market leads like clockwork, which is the most important skill when it comes to creating real wealth in real estate. Then you'll get the A to Z REI systems and vendors guide, which will allow you to peek under the hood of our business and see the exact tools and systems and even the vendors we use to grow our business. After that, you will get the top 100 best performing keywords pack, which will give you the exact keywords we use to target leads online and generate leads without having to lift a finger. Next, you'll get the contracts bundle for wholesaling and renting real estate, which will give you access to all of the contracts we use in the field to execute all types of transactions. After that, you'll get the Investor's Quick Analysis Calculator and Offer Tool, which will allow you to quickly calculate whether a deal is an actual deal and will allow you to create an offer automagically from those calculations. Next up, we'll give you the Investor's Daily Success Tracker, which is a tracker you can use to ensure you are taking the right actions day in and day out to reach your financial goals in real estate. And finally, you will get the Wholesaler's Template for Quick Assignment Cash, which will give you the templates we use to present our wholesale deals professionally and efficiently to our buyers. I know that is a ton of things to say. I'm glad you were able to stick with it. So you'll get both the ebook and all of those 7 free bonuses when you download the ebook today. All we charge is the admin cost to run the show. So if you are interested in the ebook and the bonus bundle, head on over to the website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. Click on Get the Ebook Bundle at the top of the page and take advantage of that deal. With that housekeeping item covered, I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day and even better week. Keep rocking real estate, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. All right, before I officially sign off, I have a quick announcement to make.
If you're interested in becoming a passive investor in one of my deals, my own company, Kaizen Properties, is looking for capital partners for our upcoming projects. We invest in what are known as recession-resistant assets, mainly self-storage facilities, mobile home and RV parks, and industrial properties. If you're interested in investing and would like to learn a little bit more about my company, our investing criteria, and some of the previous projects we've done, go to the Real Estate Investing Club podcast at therealestateinvestingclub.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Click on the Invest With Us button. That'll pop up the investor form. Fill that out, and we will reach back out to you as soon as we can. Or if you prefer a little bit more of a personal touch, you can reach out to me at gabe@therealestateinvestingclub.com. So really, that is it. Again, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys during this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.